The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise has given us some of the weirdest, wildest, and most random characters imaginable over the years. Mutant rhinos, a talking brain in a robot's belly, ninja frogs, and even a time-traveling samurai rabbit. But one character that often gets left in the sewers of nostalgia is Mona Lisa, a mutant salamander. Despite being named after one of the most famous paintings in the world, Mona Lisa's TMNT journey has been anything but still. Whether she's a brainy college student turned mutant or a space warrior, she remains one of TMNT's more fascinating, if underrated, characters. So, in this video, let's break down her history, her impact, and whether she really deserved more screen time, or was she just a way to check the female mutant box in a franchise mostly filled with dudes. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Who is Mona Lisa, the TMNT ally you totally forgot but shouldn't have? Mona Lisa, no, not the one hanging in the Louvre. This Mona Lisa has made her own mark as a lesser-known but totally awesome character in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe. A mutant salamander with a brain as sharp as her reflexes, she's one of those characters who may not always be on the front lines, but when she does show up, she owns the moment. Originally introduced in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1987 animated series, Mona Lisa was once a human college student knee-deep in her studies. This alone makes her more academically accomplished than most of the Turtles, whose education consists mostly of Master Splinter says so. All was well for Mona until she got caught in the crossfire of a villain's evil experiment. She crossed paths with a slimy, mustache-twirling pirate villain named Captain Filch, who had a thing for enslaving people. In classic TMNT fashion, his evil schemes involved a ton of science gone wrong. Mona tried to stop him, but instead, thanks to the radioactive mutagen, because what's a TMNT character without one, she transformed into a humanoid salamander. Now, most people would have a full-on crisis if they woke up one day and realized they turned into a reptile, but not Mona. Instead of sulking, she adapted fast. With her quick wit, newfound agility, and scientific knowledge, she vowed to use her abilities to fight injustice. Since she could no longer attend college anymore, she spends her time helping the struggling folks of Mutant Town. That means sneaking into Mutanimals' warehouses, stealing food, and hauling it back to Alapex's shelter, making sure the people who need it most don't go hungry. Despite only getting one episode in the series, Mona had enough charm to make Raphael, the emotionally constipated member, go all mushy. A smart, fearless warrior, and absolutely not the kind to take orders from anyone? Yeah, that's definitely his type. The spark was instant. They fought alongside each other, and by the time the dust settled, Raphael had a major crush. It's not every day you meet a mutant who can kick butt and outsmart villains at the same time. Then, just as quickly as she appeared, she vanished from the franchise, but was too good to be forgotten. TMNT 2012 brought her back with a new and complete glow-up. This time, she was an alien salamandrian warrior, and instead of being a one-episode wonder, she became an actual recurring character. But no matter the version, the core of Mona Lisa remains the same. She is brilliant, brave, and always ready to take on the fight, whether it's against pirates, mutants, or aliens. She proves that even in a world full of mutants and ninjas, brains and guts are truly what make a hero. Mona Lisa in comics. Rare, random, and totally rad. If you thought Mona Lisa was just a one-off character from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoons, think again. Mona Lisa made her official comic debut in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 101 in 2020. And this version? Oh, she's got layers. The issue is heavy on emotions after the high-stakes City at War arc. Following a massive mutagen bomb detonation abomination that transformed thousands of citizens into mutants, the government has sealed off an entire district of the city, now known as Mutant Town, a quarantined zone where humans who were exposed to mutagen are forced to live. Meanwhile, the Turtles are fractured, Mr. Splinter is gone, R.I.P., Sensei, and New York are dealing with the creation of Mutant Town, and Mona Lisa finds herself in the middle of it all. Originally a college student majoring in physics, Mona Lisa grew up with 4 younger brothers. Her life takes an unexpected turn when she becomes one of the many victims of old Hobbs' mutagen bomb, which turns her into a mutant salamander. Unlike her earlier versions in the 1987 series or the 2012 Alien Warrior version, this Mona Lisa is a civilian-turned-survivor trying to navigate life in a drastically changed and new world. Embracing her mutation after the catastrophic accident, Mona Lisa adapts to the chaos of Mutant Town. She dedicates herself to helping the struggling people of Mutant Town, especially children. With resources scarce and the government refusing to acknowledge the mutant crisis, she steals food from the mutanimals' warehouses to distribute to struggling mutants. On one of these runs, she meets a female turtle, Jenica, who saves her from old Hobbs' men. The two quickly bond. Her selfless actions lead to a friendship with Alopex, and they team up to provide sustenance to the community. Here, Mona's path crosses with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Unlike her previous iterations, this Mona Lisa bonds with Donatello instead of Raphael. Donatello, who often feels isolated due to his analytical nature, finds someone he can truly talk to in Mona Lisa. Mona eventually worked up the courage to reach out to her parents, but when they saw her mutant form, they panicked. Heartbroken and rejected by her parents, Mona joined the Turtles in their dojo and helped them set up a school. But soon, the dojo was attacked by the Punk Frogs. While everyone made it out before the building burned to the ground, now the Turtles had nowhere to go. Without giving it a second thought, Mona offered them a place to stay while they rebuilt. As of now, Mona Lisa has remained more of a supporting character, but given Sophie Campbell's focus on expanding the Mutant Town storyline, she has the potential for a bigger role. Whether she steps up to lead a faction, assists the Turtles more directly, or even pursues scientific research into mutation reversal, the possibilities are endless for her. So, IDW, it's time to give Mona Lisa her own arc. She's more than ready for it. Mona Lisa in the 1990s TMNT cartoon, The One-Time Wonder. Mona Lisa was originally created for the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series by Fred Wolf Films. Her first and only appearance in the series was in Season 4, Episode 20, titled Raphael Meets His Match in 1990. This episode was Mona Lisa's grand and only entrance in the 1987 TMNT cartoon. But what an entrance it was. She didn't merely show up. Instead, she hijacked the story, took out the bad guys, and let's not forget, she also managed to do something very few characters ever could: make Raphael blush like a teenager. The episode begins with Raphael and the team showing up for a costume party. Mona Lisa, too, was there pretending Raphael was her date and using his ticket to slip into the party. Raphael was intrigued by her, but she soon disappeared. Soon it was revealed that the people on the boat had been taken hostage by a crew of nasty-looking pirates, led by the villainous Captain Filch, a weird fish-man pirate with an ego problem and an utterly bad sense of fashion. In exchange, he only wanted $2 billion. Now, Filch isn't your normal TMNT villain. He is not working for Shredder or Krang, nor is he a Foot Clan ninja. Instead, Filch is just an intergalactic scumbag running a high-tech pirate ship, kidnapping people and forcing them to work for him. Yeah, real nice guy. When Mona Lisa learns Raphael is a Ninja Turtle, she comes clean. Before she became a reptilian vigilante we know and love, Mona Lisa was just Mona, a regular but brilliant human college student majoring in physics. She had a bright future ahead of her until her life took a drastic turn during what should have been an ordinary fishing trip with friends. That outing turned into a nightmare when the pirate Captain Filch attacked their boat. While her friends managed to escape, Mona wasn't so lucky. Filch kidnapped her and took her aboard his submarine, trying to convince her to help with his experiments. He had big plans to take over the world, and he wanted her scientific expertise to make it happen. Mona played along, waiting for the right moment. One night, she made her move, attempting to sabotage his nuclear reactor. The plan backfired, literally. The explosion mutated her, changing her forever into a humanoid salamander. From that moment on, she made it her mission to stop Filch. She fights alongside Raphael as an equal, not as someone who needs saving to stop Filch. She is the brains and the muscle, proving she could have been a long-term ally or, let's be honest, a full-time turtle girlfriend if the show had given her more episodes. By the end of the episode, Mona Lisa and the Ninja Turtles take down Captain Filch's operation. Captain Filch is defeated, the prisoners are free, and Mona Lisa decides to go off on her own adventure. And just like that, one of the most memorable characters in TMNT history walks off into the sunset, never to be seen in the series again. Although later she did join the Turtles in the lair with some pizzas. Sadly, that was the last we heard of Mona Lisa. Even though Mona Lisa only appeared in one episode, she became a fan favorite. Mona Lisa was ahead of her time. Unlike many female characters in 80s cartoons, she was fully capable, independent, and didn't need rescuing. The chemistry between her and Raphael was off the charts. Even in one episode, their back and forth banter was some of the best in the entire series. Although we kinda loved seeing Raph flustered, impressed, and even charmed. Raphael, speechless. That alone is historic. Even though her 1987 version never got more episodes, her impact on TMNT history is undeniable. She proved that female characters in TMNT could be just as tough, smart, and sarcastic as the boys, and she did it all in a single episode. She was then reimagined in the 2012 TMNT series as a salamandrian warrior with an expanded role and relationship with Raphael.
Always love you.
Mona Lisa in Rise of the TMNT. A new era, a new version. Mona Lisa's new version then appeared in Season 4, Episode 5, titled Riddle of the Ancient Aeons in 2012's Nickelodeon series produced by Ciro Nieli. Here, Mona Lisa was seriously upgraded. Gone was the college student turned mutant. Instead, Mona Lisa became Lieutenant Yagitsba, a fierce, honor-driven salamandrian warrior from space. The episode begins with the Turtles traveling through space, still on the hunt for the black hole generator pieces, a doomsday weapon that the Triceratons want to use to obliterate Earth. Their journey leads them to Thalos 3, a barren moon where they detect one of the missing pieces. But of course, it's never that easy. The second they land, they realize they're not alone. The Turtles come face to face with two salamandrians, a species of giant salamander warriors. Leading the charge is Lieutenant Yagitsba, but for simplicity's sake and Raphael's sanity, let's just call her Mona Lisa. And this isn't the shy, quirky scientist from the 80s. Oh no, this Mona Lisa is a full-blown space warrior with a strong moral code, wielding advanced weaponry. She and her commander, Githraka, think salamandrian Genghis Frog, is also after the black hole generator fragment, and they do not trust these weird-looking, soft-shelled Earthlings one bit. So what does Mona Lisa do? She immediately gets in Raphael's face, accusing him and his brothers of being dishonorable thieves. And Raphael? This dude forgets how words work. While Raphael is smitten, the Salamandrians aren't here to make friends. Both groups want the black hole generator fragment. While the Turtles need it to save Earth, Earth from destruction, the salamandrians want to destroy it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands, which, to be fair, isn't a terrible plan. This obviously leads to a heated battle. Just when things start looking grim for the turtles, the ancient temple they're in wakes up. Turns out this wasn't just a regular planet, it was home to a mysterious alien intelligence that does not appreciate people fighting over its artifacts. Suddenly, both the turtles and the salamandrians are forced to team up to escape the collapsing ruins. Soon, Mona realizes that they're not a threat, and she allows them to join forces, though she makes it very clear that she's not about to take orders from a bunch of random Earth reptiles. Mona is disciplined, skilled, and loyal to her people, but what makes her really stand out is her personality. She's confident, a little snarky, and doesn't take nonsense from anyone. Raphael, being the tough guy with a soft side that he is, instantly feels a connection with Mona Lisa. The problem? She's way too busy fighting wars and being a badass soldier to care about flirting. At first, she finds Raphael annoying. He's reckless, hot-headed, and acts like he's got something to prove. But as they fight side by side, she starts to respect his skills and bravery. In the end, both groups survive, and the salamandrians stick to their mission and destroy the black hole generator fragment. And by the end of the episode, the two share a moment. Mona Lisa doesn't outright admit her feelings, but she does show signs that she might like Raphael back. She calls him Warrior instead of his name, which is kind of her way of showing respect. And when they part ways, there's definitely some unspoken chemistry between them. After this encounter, Mona Lisa then appears in episode 13, The Moons of Thalos 3, where the turtles receive a distress call from Mona Lisa and Commander Githraka. They're stranded on one of the deadly moons of Thalos 3, a hostile wasteland filled with extreme storms, vicious alien creatures, and plenty of ways to die horribly. So, what does Raphael do the second he hears Mona's in trouble? He jumps up like his shell's on fire and insists they rescue her. As soon as the turtles land, they are ambushed by monstrous alien beasts. And guess who comes swooping to rescue the turtles? It's Mona Lisa, of course. After reuniting, Mona Lisa and Githraka reveal that they were ambushed by a Triceraton warship, and their ship is completely wrecked. The only way out was now to sneak into a heavily guarded enemy base, take out elite Triceraton warriors, and steal a working ship from the Triceraton forces. Piece of cake! Obviously, Raphael volunteers, and Mona Lisa jumps in right beside him because if Raphael is going on a crazy, impossible mission, she's going with him. With the Triceratons finally defeated and the escape ship secured, the turtles, Mona, and Githraka take off just as another deadly Thalos 3 storm obliterates the base behind them. Triceraton battles, alien storms, and an impossible rescue mission? This episode was basically TMNT meets Star Wars. After this episode, Mona Lisa's place in the TMNT lore was set in stone. She wasn't just a cool side character, although she is super cool, there is no denying, but now she was a fan favorite, a warrior, and Raphael's strongest connection outside of his brothers. And honestly, seeing the toughest, most aggressive turtle go completely soft for a salamandrian warrior princess was one of the best things to come out of TMNT 2012. So if TMNT ever continues, they better bring Mona Lisa back, because the galaxy needs more salamandrian awesomeness. Mona Lisa 101, Style, Strengths, and Smarts. In the IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics, Mona Lisa chooses to see her transformation as a once-in-a-lifetime experience rather than a curse. Before she mutated, Mona was a physics major with a sharp mind. Post-mutation, Mona Lisa stands at medium height, her mutant form giving her a sleek, slender build. Her transformation gives her smooth, amphibian-like skin, a long tail, and and pronounced small yellow horns on the sides of her face, which she uses in place of her ears. Her scales are a mix of gray and yellow, with a spotted pattern and a yellow underbelly. Instead of hair, she has feathers, usually tied up in a ponytail. She often wears casual clothing such as sweaters and leggings and round glasses, the bridge taped together, one of the few remnants of her past life. As a former physics major, she had a sharp mind and a natural curiosity about the world around her. As a mutant, she has time and again proven to be more than capable of handling herself in a fight, even using her tail as a weapon against opponents. Her salamander body provides her with exceptional flexibility and reflexes. Whether it's taking down an enemy or standing up for what's right, Mona isn't afraid to fight for the people she cares about. Like her IDW version, Mona from the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon started off as a regular human college student studying physics. Before mutating, Mona was a young Caucasian woman, likely in her late teens or early 20s. She had black eyes and brown hair, which she kept tied back in a ponytail with a pink hair tie. She often wore a pink dress with matching heels, gold bangles, and layered necklaces. After her mutation, she became a slender, green-scaled reptilian humanoid with webbed fingers and a long, whip-like tail that gave her an amphibian look. Her new body was built for speed and agility, with powerful legs that let her jump incredible heights and move effortlessly through water. However, she still had her brown hair and big, expressive eyes, which made her look friendly yet fierce. She completed her look with a brown belt and a pink ribbon around her neck, a small reminder of the person she used to be. Mona Lisa didn't carry swords or nunchucks like the Turtles, but she didn't need them. Her body was her greatest weapon. Seriously, her tail was like a built-in whip and was strong enough to take out multiple enemies at once. Even without training, she moved like a natural fighter and could hold her own in a fight. Okay, maybe not a weapon, but her fearlessness and quick thinking made her an invaluable fighter. Mona Lisa was one of the best one-episode wonders in TMNT history. And let's be honest, if she had stuck around, she and Raphael would have been the ultimate TMNT power couple. When the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV series decided to bring back Mona Lisa, they didn't just dust off her old 1987 design and call it a day. No, they completely reinvented her, transforming her into Lieutenant Yagitsba, a salamandrian warrior through and through. Mona Lisa's 2012 redesign was massively different from what we had already seen. Unlike her original version, which was more petite, the 2012 Mona Lisa had a muscular, athletic build with smooth, dark red scales. Instead of the big, expressive eyes of her 1987 version, this Mona had piercing, golden, slit pupil eyes, very predatory. She had gill-like ridges on her face and back and wore high-tech battle armor fit for a space warrior. One thing that remained constant with her previous iterations was her tail, which wasn't just for show. She used it for knocking out enemies, wrapping around weapons, or even smacking Raphael upside the head when necessary. When it comes to battle, she doesn't hesitate. She throws herself into the fight without fear, refusing to show mercy to those who attack or betray her people. She had a strong sense of justice and someone who lived by an ironclad honor code. Just because she was a warrior didn't mean she was all serious business. She had a sharp tongue and even sharper sense of humor, which made her a perfect match for Raphael, who was usually the one dishing out the sarcasm. Trust doesn't come easy for her. When she first encountered the Turtles, Mona didn't immediately trust them. At first, she thought Raphael and the others were disgraceful, and she didn't hold back in calling them out. But once he proved himself, she stood by his side as a loyal ally. Mona Lisa may not have supernatural abilities, but she was tough as nails. Her training in the Salamandrian military turned her into an exceptional fighter, agile, strategic, and incredibly strong. Unlike Raphael, who charges in first and asks questions never, Mona Lisa thinks through her battles, analyzing her enemies and adjusting her tactics mid-fight. Her speed gives her an edge over the Turtles, and even Michelangelo pointed out that she's stronger, faster, and possibly a better fighter than Raphael. She was comfortable on land and in water, meaning she had zero weaknesses when it came to terrain. Let's be real, a 6-foot-tall, armor-clad space warrior with golden eyes and a deadly tail? Yeah, she scared the hell out of her enemies before they even had a chance to fight back. As a Salamandrian Space Fleet Lieutenant, Mona is always armed and ready for battle. She wore a Salamandrian armor suit built for durability and protection. It had built-in weaponry like forearm pads that can change into different weapons like plasma blasters, axes, and more. Gauntlets turned her fists into weapons of destruction. Her signature weapon was a laser sword capable of cutting through almost anything. She was also armed with explosive discs that detonate on impact or with a timed delay. In short, she was a walking, talking, tail-whipping, armor-clad wrecking machine. Marvelous verdict. Mona Lisa's evolution in TMNT is exactly the kind of bonkers character arc that makes this franchise so fun. One day, she's a brilliant scientist. The next, she's a mutated salamander, and then, because why not, she became a full-blown warrior. Some people switch careers. Mona switched species. If that's not a glow-up, I don't know what is. And instead of having an existential crisis about it, Mona just rolls with it, because in the TMNT universe, that's how Tuesdays go. Plenty of characters go through mutations in TMNT, but Mona isn't just another creature in the sewers. But the fact is, she's got the brains to go with all the brawn. And let's all agree that anyone who can go from studying science to kicking tail deserves some respect. Mona Lisa is walking proof that sometimes when life throws a mutation your way, you just gotta own it. And honestly, we could all take a page from her book. Maybe not the getting mutated into a salamander part, but definitely the rolling with the punches part. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe out there. Thanks, everyone.